Everybody, we're back from break with more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Ooh. Okay, so before we do anything else, everyone can add 750 experience for besting the Sargoth Coven.
38 plus 5. 39,325. Okay. What?
Over there. What were you saying?
39,325? That's my current experience number that I was adding up with the calculator.
Oh, okay.
Should be at 40,325.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you should definitely be at least 40.
Because I think me and Mitch are at 40,150, yeah?
Oh, well, okay. I've added.
Me and Bones are at the same XP.
I don't know how I fucked that up.
It always be the same, and me and
Ashes.
always be the same.
Okay.
Yep.
It's actually nice because then it's easier to make sure.
Yeah, because if we're not sure, we can just consult the other person.
Yeah, it's way more convenient. For sure.
Okay, so as we fade back into the scene, right? There's a rush of adrenaline pumping through your veins, right? Blood covering the claws of Ashes, a headless Cauldra, her body limp on the stone floor. Bones has climbed up onto the shattered shell of Scylla, one of the giant crabs. Gurgle Brine hangs limply over the cauldron. And Coral Black has her hands, dagger-like talons, at the tips of each of her fingers. Has her hands raised in the air, breathing heavily. And the crabs, as if moving in concert with the will of the coven, have stopped and started their slight swaying motion back and forth. Coral says, I don't know what it is you want, but whatever it is, let's be done with it. And then you hear this.
Oh, uh-oh.
Damn, she here.
And you hear this clapping. As from back the way you came, you see kind of striding confidently, and Olive doesn't move the same way as the rest of the hags do. You tend to see them pulling themselves around or being sat upon the crabs in some way, shape, form, fashion. Olive walks like she struts, right? Like she comes walking in, she has this air, weird air, right, of trying to be seductive. But the way she walks, it gives you pause in that concept, right? She's not an attractive figure by any means, but she carries herself in such a way that she could present that with some fixing-upping or some illusion, you know?
It's like 50% confidence, you know?
Yeah, right? She comes strutting in, clapping as she does, and she says, well, it appears I bet on the right horse. Well done, well done. She kind of like looks across and she sees Caldra's head scattered upon the rocky ground and just grins, big, sharp black teeth. And Coral has turned partially, like half of her towards Ashes, like one shoulder towards Ashes, the other towards Olive, and she's just staring daggers at Olive, right? And Olive just looks back at her and kind of like, like furrows her brow a little bit, and kind of like nods towards Gurgle's body draped over the cauldron, right? And she says, to Coral, she says, "Our sister yet lives?" And Coral, you see there's a moment, right, where Coral kind of like grinds her teeth, right? And then she just kind of deflates, and not just mentally, but you actually watch her kind of like physically deflate a little bit. You realize like her body had puffed up. Her eyes, they're still black, but they kind of like begin to swim with little flecks of color now, and the elongated jaw begins to kind of like recede, and she actually physically kind of like deflates a little. And she nods and she says, "Yes, sister. Gurgle yet live." And she tilts her head down, submissively, and she says, "Thank you for your kind consideration, sister." And Olive kind of nods, and she says, "Yes, that will do nicely."
Well, probably did something not quite so smart.
Well, how do you feel about double crossing again? Double crossing?
No, I don't want to double cross. She needs to cross us first.
And so, it's Olive kind of like looks, and she sees all of you kind of, well, she sees some of you arrayed. How long does
It's only a minute, so it probably would.
well, it's probably gonna fade here in just a second, right? So, somewhere during this conversation, it pops. So this is now probably an opportune moment, right? She's looking, she's surveying, she sees ashes, she sees Matashtai, and then the spell begins to wear, right? And then suddenly Bones and Ezrah are here as well. She nods and she says, "Ah, yes. You've all made it and done well. And your quarry located? Yes?
Yes.
And alive?
Fortunately.
Ah.
We needed that.
Well, it seems as if we're all getting what we want today. How wonderful." Well,
Yeah, but who's gonna watch the shop back in Skullport?
oh. I might pop in from time to time, but, I guess for now the stock has it covered.
I think we need to take a look back in the old pantry back here.
Oh, I
See
think
if
that
any-
would be a terrific idea. I'm sure there's plenty to investigate. And she kind of like stares daggers up at Coral, and Coral just like hangs her head, just unwilling to meet or challenge her sister. And Olive looks over and she says, "We had a deal. The eye for the boy. However, I am nothing if not gracious. You've taught my sisters a lesson, one I'm sure they won't soon be forgetting." And like glances over at Coral again. "And for that you should be rewarded. Travel. Investigate. And, whatever is back there, feel free to free at your whim. That's... well, there are likely to be several back. Sister, the keys. You still keep them in that dirty pot."
I reach into my bag of holding. I think you mean these.
Oh, how resourceful. Yes, you'll probably need those.
Now, I think there was one more other thing we talked about.
Oh, I wasn't finished, but I'm sure.
Okay. You carry on. My mistake.
No, you first. What
No.
what else had we discussed?
I believe
Remind
agreed you
me.
taking any more children, any innocents going forward.
That will not be an issue.
All right.
Coral. Is our store still there? Coral's eyes kind of flutter. Yes, sister? And Olive says, good. Past this next cavern, and whatever you find there, there's a tunnel. Will wind northward, and then curve back to the west. Within, you'll find the wreckage of an old ship. Coral says, sister, you can't mean to... And Olive just shouts, silence! And her face does that whole kind of like turned black eyes, big puffy mouth in an instant, like in a fucking instant. And Coral visibly shrinks back. And Olive says, you will find goods there. Treasure. A reward for your services. Take what you wish. I would ask you leave me a paltry sum to work with. Honest trade and all that. Be careful though. There is... And she looks over at Coral. And you see there's a moment where where Coral's eyes widen with honest shock. Like she expected something very different from what Olive is about to do and say. And she says, there's a magical trap guarding this treasure. The wail of a banshee. Quite dangerous if you're not prepared for it.
Thanks for letting us know.
She says, have you something... Well... How to put this delicately? Have you a way to dispel magic? Or perhaps something living that you care not for? Or a construct, the undead. Anything to trigger or remove the trap.
I think in unison we all turn and look at Ezra.
Yep.
It's not a living entity, but I do have the ability to summon a magical servant that might potentially.
Olive kind of like pauses. It might work. Regardless,
Oh my God. I don't
you have been warned. If you wish the treasure, it's yours to take. If you die trying, that is your own stupidity.
I mean, fair enough.
care. Yeah, fair enough.
She says, go ahead. Perform your investigation. I will attend my sister while you are away.
All right. You guys okay?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to move out?
Ezra walks down the hallway, sees the boy cowering. Oh, hey, here.
Someone that can check the trap for
It's
us.
okay. What's going on? And you can see he's actually he's manacled, right? And he's just kind of like,
Come, boy.
I heard a lot there. Is everything all right?
Yes, everything is fine. We have a couple of things we need to do before we get you back to your
Grandfather.
father, grandfather.
Grandfather.
I mean, you guys are probably coming over, and Ezra didn't
Yeah.
know the guy, so he's.
Get you back to your.
So as you guys,
crippled
you guys kind of like
poverty.
leave.
Before Ashes leaves, I'll look over at all of them. I don't know how long it's been since you've been up here, but the drow have been rooted from this floor, and your sisters here, in some part, assisted the Legion in doing so.
Oh, I'm
Just,
sure they did so out of the goodness of their own hearts.
I'm just saying, things might be a little bit more different up here.
Oh,
And
I'm quite
maybe-
aware of how different they might be. I'm assuming for the same reason. Right, dear sister? You're in the pocket of Halaster Blackcloak, aren't you? And you see Coral doesn't respond. She just keeps her head down. And Olive nods and she says, yes, that's what I thought.
Well, it seems you all have a lot to talk about. I'm not going to take up any more of your time.
She looks past you, right? Assuming you were kind of like in the position that you previously were, and she kind of sighs, and you see a kind of like a sad look on her face, and she says, Scylla, that is a loss, unlike some. And she kind of like just glances over at the body of Caldera.
More upset
All right.
than the other head.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
it's a damn shame he came at me with a fury.
Hey, Bones, are you any good with manacles? Unlocking, not putting them on.
I'm real good at putting them on, but
I'm sure.
I don't know. They're probably like the same as anything else. Don't you have 18 keys? Do you want to try one of those?
And
I'll
manacle
try and
locks
just
are
pick them.
literally like single pin locks.
Okay, I'll just try and pick it then.
Okay.
Thief tools.
That is a success. You are able to pick the locks of these manacles.
My God.
You're
Delvin kind of like rubs at his wrist as they kind of like follow away, and he's, oh, thanks. I mean, sorry. I don't want to. You. Are you a tabaxi?
Only sometimes.
Eyes kind of like widen, and he's like, cool. My granddad used to tell me stories about tabaxis when he was sailing in the past. He looks over at Ashes and he says, and he looks at Ezra and he looks at Matashtai, and then he kind of like looks at Bones, and now he's suddenly like he's like looking at all three of you like help me out here, like
Yeah, he's a devil.
That's
Yeah,
a,
he's a demon.
no, he's still in werewolf form,
oh,
y'all.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's still
I forgot
still
he's
got
in
like
Yeah, he's so
werewolf forms
this
still have
young
horns.
boy is just like I
That's
only
cute.
know stories of one type of wolf man.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
he's a werewolf devil.
that's a special tiefling.
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Ash, just flick your tongue some.
Do you even have like a forked tongue or anything?
No, but I do have a
yet.
prehensile tail.
A prehensile tail. Smack him upside the
I
head
can
with your
barely-
tail.
right now.
I can flick that.
Wow.
That's not my tail.
You're all so different.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where are
I
y'all
also
from?
we are.
so.
I mean, he's an alien.
Oh,
Nah,
what?
I'm-
Not an alien.
What's an alien?
Ezra, you have to stop telling people I came from a different place.
I was talking about Matashtai.
Came from a different place. What?
A distant world.
Distant world. Like a different world?
It's also
You can
distant.
come from a different world?
You can also go to different.
Yes. Please tell us more, Bones.
What? Yeah, tell us more.
It's a place where everyone has two minds.
2 minds.
worlds.
What would you do
right.
with a second mind?
Think twice as hard.
Oh. I don't like to think once as hard.
I believe
Well.
it.
That's fair.
Probably a good thing you only have one mind.
He seems a little bummed. He was super excited. Now he's less excited.
Let's go free the other children.
Other children. Okay, so y'all start to move forward.
Yeah. We're gonna go back to the meat locker.
And Delvin kind of like chatters, and he says, "I don't know if there's any other children, but there's the warden back here.
The warden?
Yeah, he's
What
nasty.
What does that mean?
He's not nice at all. He's real rude. I never saw him. He always stayed in the darkness, but, you know."
I swear to God, if it's Catsup, I'm gonna beat his ass.
So you guys come into a big
There's
chamber,
goblin.
and let me actually read shit off. As you move forward into this cavern, you find a rudimentary dungeon with old chains bolted to the walls attached to 5 sets of rusty manacles. Well, 4 sets of rusty manacles. Delvin was wearing the 5th. 2 of which are currently occupied. In one of the sets of shackles, just to the south, is a comatose individual.
That crazy chick from the fucking drow area.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go back to Tiefling form.
Wizard?
Crazy chick.
No, there was another person who was like real crazy and didn't want to have anything to do with us.
The one in the jail.
Yeah.
It seems to be that same person.
Dude, I'm a god of remembering.
Good job.
What was the race of Azrock and his crew?
They were definitely half orcs.
Incorrect.
I looked at the camera, okay? I looked directly at it. You
He
fuck.
did. He did.
So that's one set of shackles. In the other one sits a lean goblin whose ears seem to have been docked. The
that's
goblin
fucked up.
is kind of just staring at you
Real messed up.
incredulously, right? And the human is just comatose, like it's just eyes rolled back, not there, right? And so the goblin goes, "What the hells? Who are you people?" And Delvin goes, "Hey, you're not a warden. You were locked up just like I was.
Oh, shit.
You're a liar." And this goblin is just like so astonished by seeing all of you, right, that he doesn't even acknowledge Delvin's accusation, right? He's just like, "Were did you kill him? Get me out of here! Let me loose from here!"
Ezra looks
All
at
right,
both.
I'll go over to the unconscious person.
Why you
Okay.
look at me?
And
Just
I
'cause
would
have
like
a thing for
to-
goblins.
I would like to see if they are dead or not, or like what kind of situation they're in.
They are alive.
Aren't?
Are alive.
Are. Okay.
They are alive.
I'll,
No medicine
little-
check or anything like that required. You can see their chest moving, they're breathing. You put a finger to their, you can feel a pulse.
What a
Hey.
weird assortment of people.
You shake. Nothing happens. The goblin goes, "You're wasting your time on that one. It doesn't move, doesn't speak. I don't think it's actually there. Let me out! Get me out of here!"
I mean, I am not the one that can. I don't have the skills to get you out. That's that one over there, and I point at the cat.
I have the skills.
Well, they
What are you in for?
in for? They were gonna eat me. What do you mean in for? They just
They've been
snagged
eating
me.
heavy?
I was fishing on the river.
Oh, you part of the Legion?
Yeah, I'm part of the Legion.
All right, that seems like a lie. I'm down with the goblin lingo.
Yeah. Okay.
I look at
I
him.
should teach you goblin sometime.
I look at him. Are you? I'm gonna ask Azarok.
All right. No. I'm not part of the Legion. No. I mean, I just look. I just don't want to be here. I thought that's the answer you were looking for. Look. I just just let me out, man.
Yeah, all right, that's fair enough. I go over and
Let
unlock
me
him.
out, man.
Okay. You go over and try to pick the lock again.
Yes, I assume with enough time I would get it. But
Yeah. You don't. I don't need you to roll. I'm just trying to suss out what you
How
were
funny
trying to do.
would have been if it was like, yeah, I'm with the Skull Takers.
Like, who are you?
So it takes you a few moments, right? Mostly because these manacles are old and crappy, less so than they are intricate. But eventually you unlock his shackles, and he goes, "Ugh!" And he stands up and he says, "Oh, great. They're dead, right?"
Nope.
Is
No.
Nope.
What?
One died. Another came back. The coven still exists.
So we're trapped in here?
Nope. They're gonna let us walk.
What? I don't understand.
we're loosely affiliated.
And it seemed a lot looser than we were at the morning.
The goblin goes, "Oh, okay. So I guess I just, I guess I'll wait until you're ready to leave." Yeah.
We got some exploring to do.
It's probably a safe bet, but you can probably walk out.
I can wait. I've waited this long. I can wait.
I bet he can.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Okay.
Just have fun.
So-
Well, we'll be back eventually. Probably.
So what else is happening? Right? Delvin's just kind of like, Delvin's not trying to talk over anyone, but he's muttering to himself, and he says, "Rude that he was the warden. Say mean things to me." kind of like
That is
he kind of
weird.
like goes off in the corner, right? Because he realizes like it's adults talking time, so he's trying to not make a nuisance of himself. But he's like kicking a little rocky outcropping over on the side, like real salty, real upset that this fucking goblin was lying to him and leading him on and taunting him and shit like that. So
Were you taunting him?
this is real quiet to you since you're actually close to him. Bones, he says, "Look, that little shit. He'll believe anything, right? I had to do something to pass the time. I thought I was gonna die, right? You know, just a little moment's joy before I went out."
I quietly chuckle with him.
Right. You get it. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's real mean.
It is real mean though. I do. It's real funny, but it's real mean.
Okay, so are you guys doing anything else, or are you kind of like...
I mean, let's get this unconscious person free,
Okay.
if you don't mind, Bones.
Bones, you...
Yeah, okay. I'm on it.
Again, you don't need to roll. I just need to know that you're trying to pick the lock. So you take a few moments, go through the motions,
I
eventually
wish to
picking
free
the
him.
lock, and freeing
I wish
this
to free them.
individual. Their body, they hold themselves up, right? But they do not respond. They do not register that they understand that you are there, or that they are interacting with you, or you are interacting with them. They seem catatonic, almost.
Do you know what happened to them?
You're asking?
I'm asking the goblin. Also, I ask what his name is.
Oh, they call me Lurk.
Lurk.
I don't know anything about that one. They brought him in a couple days back when they were bringing in all the bodies, and well, don't say nothing. Hadn't moved. Doesn't seem to be there.
Huh. How long has he been like this?
Since they brought him in.
And how long ago was that?
7, 8 days, something like that.
Jeez, my man.
7 or 8 days, yeah. It lines up with the timeline. Like, Bones has identified the person, right? It lines up with the timeline of you guys killing the drow and leaving the person in the jail.
Look, that's not my fault. It's really on
Look,
them.
we had a freaking like chimera to kill.
Sure.
All right, well, I guess we'll just leave that person there.
All right then, on your own.
So I don't know, Matt. Do you know what to do? Like, what does the good person handbook say about this?
I don't know.
That's a good question. All right, whatever. Onward to treasure.
Treasure! Someone said the T word.
I mean, we can always come back for him. It's like, whatever.
Alright,
So-
so you...
As was described, this is the tunnel leading to the treasure.
Seems like it. Yeah.
And it seemed like it was in a chamber. The trap was not in a doorway or entryway.
No,
Based
the Olive probably would have explained it a little bit more clearly than I have. There is a shipwreck and a treasure trove upon the shipwreck, and that is trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys begin to move forward through these tunnels. Delvin kind of like follows behind, still grumbling about stupid lurk name, lion and
Kind of does have a
Stuff.
stupid lurk name.
This stupid name.
You guys get about halfway up the tunnel, right before Delvin forgets that he has been lied to, and he's upset about it because he kind of like realizes, and he looks around and he says, "Oh, what's that light?" And he just kind of like
I don't know. Don't look at it.
natters
Wait,
on it. And he
don't-
says,
don't-
"It's floaty. How did it get floaty? Why is it so
Wait.
bright?"
"Oh, it's
So
Matt's
little-
light. Okay, it's not like some random mind-melting trap."
Oh, it's talking about the drift globe.
I didn't know what
He
was happening.
kind of like reaches up and he tries to like poke up at it.
Okay, well, you can just touch it. It's all right. And I grab it and put it near him.
Ooh, that's
97
cool.
degrees.
He's like, "Oh wow, it's a little warm. That's neat." He kind of like he plays with the shadows, like making shadows out of the ball and everything like that with it. And he says, "This is cool. Where'd you get this? Can I have one?"
I don't actually remember where I got it.
It's one of the treasure troves, I think.
Yeah, but no, you can't have that one.
Well, not that one. I want my own.
Well, if you find one, you can have it.
Yeah.
Will you help me find one?
Yes, Matthew. Will
If
you help
if
him?
it happens to be in this next treasure trove, you can have it.
Whoa!
Ooh, you
Whoa!
promise? Really, 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 really? Awesome!
Whoa! Whoa! Okay. I don't agree to this.
Oh, do you want a drift globe?
That's
Maybe.
Matt's share of
you-
the treasure. He gets nothing
You
else.
gonna use that?
I might. I'm not certain.
Oh yeah.
Delvin's like, "You guys are cool. How'd y'all get
Thank
to be
you.
so strong?"
We killed a bunch of things.
Lots of studying.
I punched
Explore
boulders
adventure.
until they were dust.
So, hearing these myriad of answers, right? Delvin immediately goes, "You punched boulders? That sounds like it would hurt. How'd you punch boulders?"
I just did.
I don't know. Something sounds fishy about that one. I think you might be a little bit like Lurk.
I walk up and I punch a boulder.
Shoot!
The boulder probably disintegrates because you're fucking Matashtai. Like, let's be honest. Like, Delvin fawns over you. All right, moving on. So this is the type of conversation that Delvin has while he's following you guys around, right? This is what he chatters about. So you guys come into this. The tunnel curves back around, right, to the west, and it begins to open up. And as you round the corner, you find yourselves in a cave with a jagged, 30-foot high ceiling, reminiscent of teeth. Before you rests a 20-foot high mountain of rotted out rowboats, longboats, actually, all kind of like piled together, and they're piled up and around the shattered remnants of a larger vessel, like half of a larger vessel that's kind of like sitting in the back. Okay, jutting like needles from the mound are shattered barnacle-covered spars that were once masts. At the top of this mountain of junk is a crow's nest. And there's something up there. Even though it's kind of obscured from where you're currently at, you can clearly see that there's something up there.
How far up is that?
It's maybe about 30 feet up, way at the back of the room.
All right. How are we
Hanging
gonna
from iron spikes, pounded into the walls all around you, are dozens of captain's wheels festooned with skulls. And leaning against the south wall at the base of this crow's nest is the wreckage of a ship's figurehead carved in the form of a wailing banshee.
Oh. There's our trap. So how we handling that?
Ezra's like, all right, let me pull out my book and I'm gonna start doing some stuff. And the first thing I do is ritually cast Detect Magic.
Okay, so that takes 11 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
I teach
Way
Gavlin how to
far away. Don't even want to have a chance of being in this.
Okay, so Bones backs the fuck off. Ezra begins to cast Detect Magic. You actually need to, Ashes. You need to distract Delvin, because otherwise, as Ezra sits down and begins to cast, Delvin kind of gets over near Ezra and begins to go, "Hey, what are you doing? What are those words you're saying? Why are you making the? Oh, wait, why are you what?" And Ashes pulls Delvin. It would have been impossible for you to concentrate fully on casting the spell because Delvin would have been in your face the entire time asking you questions. He needs to be distracted for you to cast spells around him.
Sounds useful in a fight.
Well, not like in a fight. In a fight, they're instant spells, right? But to sit down and cast a ritual for 11 minutes, right? This kid is gonna natter your ear off. Like,
That's fair.
No fucking way. So Ashes spends the time distracting / teaching, quote unquote, Delvin to play Chin Chin, which Delvin
Good old Chin Chin
immediately gets into.
Fucking
And it's a game, and any game that this kid can play quickly and easily and intuitively, he is all for. So the cavern kind of fills with Delvin very loudly proclaiming wins or losses, and excitedly playing Chin Chin with Ashes.
I look at Matt. Can you believe this grandfather misses him that much? Chin Chin too.
So you say that out loud?
Rude, Jesus.
This is real
My
fucked
mouth
up.
is agape, dude. My mouth is agape.
Matt is immediately disappointed in you.
I said it mentally. I hit the airwaves.
Okay.
You don't get to talk to me mentally unless I talk to you mentally.
Oh.
Yeah, oh shit.
He thinks it very
No, because I didn't say it.
Oh shit, dude. Shit, dumb
All right.
shit.
11 minutes later, a Detect Magic spell is cast.
11 minutes later.
There are
worst spell I'm casting.
there are many magical auras around you that you are mostly familiar with.
Yeah.
There are 2 magical presences to the south. One is momento. One is evocation, like enchantment and evocation, but it's primarily evocation. And the other is
Earthbending.
Nope,
It's
that's
top
me not
Bayfall.
being able to type. That's what that is. This is conjuration and enchantment, but mostly conjuration. The one is clearly coming from the figurehead, right? The evocation is clearly coming from the figurehead. The conjuration is coming from whatever is up there in the crow's nest.
All right. I will then go ahead and begin ritually casting Unseen Servant.
Okay. You're gonna ritually cast Unseen Servant?
Yes.
Oh,
All right. Y'all gonna be here for an
I killed
hour
myself waiting.
Oh my god, an hour and 10 minutes?
and 10
No.
minutes.
No, it's a casting time of 1 action.
That's not
Oh,
what it
it's a
says.
duration of an
That's a
hour.
duration.
That's my bad. That's my bad.
JK.
Sorry. I looked at the
debated
wrong
me.
time. I'm sorry. Okay, so 11 more minutes. Okay, gotcha.
That's acceptable.
Okay, sure. Delvin is beginning to lose interest in Chin Chin after about
Knock
15
him
minutes.
unconscious.
Huh?
Just knock him
Knock,
unconscious.
just knock him unconscious. Jeez.
Wow, that's messed up.
That was Jake, not Ezra.
Yeah, I believe that.
I ain't got anything for this little shit to play with.
I got a bunch of knives.
No.
You remember the last time I gave it? No, Matt gave the child a knife.
Was it
It
Ulrich?
was Ulrich from
It was Ulrich that gave a kid a-
Andover.
Yeah, and then he cut himself.
Oh, and her mom. Oh, that kid's mom got pissed.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, that
not
went well.
happy.
I mean, kind of deservedly so, let's be honest.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's really
that's
on-
right.
it's
The
really
kid
on Rich
cut
for
himself
that.
like in front of you. You started bleeding everywhere. And you started force feeding him something
Ow!
of healing.
Yep.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
You're not
You're
hurt.
fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't tell your mom.
Oh my goodness. All right. So some time passes. Ezra casts Unseen Servant, and a invisible,
Well-
mindless, shapeless force appears and does your bidding. What is thou bidding?
All right. I turn around and look at Matt. The olive lady said that it triggered when it grabbed treasure, right?
I thought it triggered when we go near it.
I wasn't part of that conversation.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and take a step back as I tell my unseen servant to walk into the room towards the crow's nest.
All right,
Okay.
Gavlin, you're gonna want to put your fingers in your ears for a second. This might be loud.
Okay.
I put my fingies in my ears.
Puts his fingers in his ears like this.
I answer back extremely loudly. Yes! From way across the cavern.
Very nice. Wonderful. Okay. The unseen servant. What is your command? What are you directing it to do?
To walk to the crow's nest and walk back.
It walks to the crow's nest, winds its way up the wreckage, through the spars, past the figurehead of the banshee, onto the crow's nest, and then comes back. Nothing happens.
I look at Matt.
I don't know shit about magic, man.
I mean, other than alien magic.
I punched fucking ashes in
I
the throat.
dodge.
I tell the unseen servant to go into the crow's nest and bring something shiny back.
Okay. The servant walks down to the south, and it comes back just a little bit later. Minute as it winds its way up there, and then lifts something up and winds its way back. And it as it comes forward, it holds out a burlap satchel that you can hear is clinking with coin. Or sorry, actually, this is not clinking with coin. I apologize. It's a burlap satchel. Oh right. It's not. It's a satchel, like a carrying pouch, like satchel. So it kind of like holds it out. Does this have a carry weight limit or anything like that?
It has a strength of
It's got
2,
a strength of 2.
so it can
Ooh.
hold 30 pounds.
Ooh.
Good lord. Not a modifier or 2. Of 2.
Okay, he can carry this.
That was
He
kind
can
of a
carry
lot.
the satchel. So it brings the satchel forward, and you hear some light clinking from inside.
I look at Matt. Any other ideas?
Don't tell it to mess with the banshee thing over there.
Okay, I grab.
Maybe it's got to be visible.
Maybe he's got to be what?
Visible.
I prestidigitate. Oh, I don't know if this will work. I'm trying here.
No, you're doing good, man.
Range of 10 feet. So that probably won't work.
I give him a 10-foot pole. I say here.
There you go.
Go
But
beat
it
up
walks
that
back
thing
with the satchel full of whatever. And that
Yeah,
did.
but I don't know. Go poke it.
Okay. So I give the satchel of whatever to Matashtai.
Heavy.
Okay, I heft it.
It's heavy. 20 plus pounds.
Oh boy.
And hand a 10-foot pole to the unseen servant. Hold this.
Takes it.
Go poke thing.
Go poke the statue of the woman screaming. 10 times. And then
The
come
servant walks over. 35, 40 seconds to get over there. And then y'all hear from across the cavern just this. The unseen servant turns around and walks back.
I mean, he really puts up with bullshit.
All right. Well, nothing if not reliable.
back. He's a servant after all.
What's the Banshee's Wail do again? Does anybody know?
Kills you if it drops you to 0 HP.
No. How many HP does it normally drop?
I have no idea. And that would be information Ezra would not know. So
Ezra, can you have this information, please?
can Ezra have this information, please?
There's no way Ezra would have this information. Ezra might have read about a banshee's whale in a book somewhere, but there's
Would
no
ashes have been
statting
taught?
it out. Huh?
What to do if confronted by a banshee?
Potentially. I would say definitely. If you were an order of the ghost hunting ones.
Fair.
But as
Does he
it
ever
is right
not
now,
just
you probably
flash it
just
with
heard
your
of it
claws?
from, cursory tales amongst the
Yeah,
others.
it was a hard choice between Order of the Lycan and Order of the Ghost Hunting Ones.
Well, as one, does, as one chooses.
Isn't it like Order of the Grave or something like that?
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
So what do you guys want to do? You have a heavy satchel. You have Delvin, whose ears are plugged, but he's getting bored. And you have a unseen servant with a 10-foot pole.
Do we just send for the next hour, send this servant thing that just starts slowly retrieving everything from the crow's nest?
That sounds like a poor choice.
All right.
I'm confused. We couldn't dispel it?
I don't have Dispel.
Oh, you just have detect.
Mm-hmm.
That'll do. That'll do.
All right, it's fine. I got this. I'm quick. I go in.
I was gonna say I have resistance to psychic damage.
I
A lot of HP.
I could, in theory, use Find Familiar. But that would take some time to summon a cat or a dog or some...
Don't you already have a familiar? Can it not just teleport?
Yeah, you have a dragon
my
nest.
library. He's guarding my library.
I mean, if you summon another one, that one disappears anyway.
And then I will summon him back and not have to watch him die.
All right, what about Wolf? Can we subject him to some horrors?
Ooh! There you go.
Oh man, that's
No, I don't wanna
Mostly
do that.
good.
I mean, it's
All of
pretty
these
fucked up.
conversations are mostly good. I love it. Let's
I
sacrifice the
understand
familiar.
how fucked
Let's
up it
sacrifice
is.
Wolf.
I should have never done that.
Yeah, now I get to use it. Fuck you.
Now you do. I gave
All
you
right,
the
whatever. I got
ammunition.
this. I go in.
Okay. Bones, tired of the waiting, sure of his, confident in himself, pushes forward.
Ezra puts his fingers back in his hair.
Hey, how was I supposed to trigger it?
Just go get the shiny shit.
Didn't she tell us how to trigger it?
I don't remember.
I don't think she did. Just go in and it will trigger.
Okay,
Is what I remember.
I just go in then.
You get within 10 feet of the
Figurehead.
figurehead, and it lets out an ear-piercing wail.
Sweet.
So, I need you, and I think no one else, yeah, everyone else is actually far enough back, to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
Or die.
Good. I'm very good at that. I'm in a 9. Am I dead?
Okay.
What a hubris way to die.
This is such a better idea.
You guys are plugging your ears, right?
They were, yeah.
Bones walks forward, turns back. Hey, how do you... Just walk, just get close to it. And turns, walks. There's this ear-piercing wail that emanates from the figurehead. And
20 d10 damage.
Bones collapse.
I could potentially survive that.
No, there's
Bones-
no damage roll. It's...
Bones collapses.
All right, well, it's been fun, boys.
I see that happen, and I run up, and I expend a healer's kit charge to stabilize Bones.
Oh my god, he's been waiting to do that for eternity.
Yeah.
Healer's charge kit, what does it do exactly?
Just stabilizes. When they're at
Yeah.
0, they don't have to make death saves.
Okay. The healer's kit does nothing. Because he's not dead. He's at 0 hit points.
Oh.
He drops to 0 hit points. He is unconscious. But he's not bleeding out or anything.
So, Staff of Healing.
Well, y'all two start looting. I'll go take care of Bones. And I'll carry him back to
Delvin is like he's over at the corner now, and you can see he's kind of like looking aside, and he's really only got like one ear plugged because his hand keeps drifting down. He's like, "Is he okay? What happened? That was
He's about to
crazy.
be.
He just dropped. Oh man, you guys."
He sure
Oh.
did.
Imagine if you guys had just like you come to the Sargroft River, you met with the Coven, you didn't like the cut of their jibs, you got into a big fight with them, right? You killed them, you're sore, you're beaten, you're bloodied, you're walking through here, right? You save some captives, you explore this place, you fucking walk up to this figurehead,
and
all 4 of you drop to 0 hit points. How
That was
fucked?
rough.
How fucked would that have been? Like, holy
should've
shit.
just-
And then the hags come back and just eat us.
if you're lucky.
Alright. So
force
Ashes,
feed-
you force
yeah.
feed a potion to Bones.
Mm-hmm.
Bones comes back with 6 HP.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, boy?
Took no damage in any of the previous fights. 60 to 0 from a Banshee scream.
Yeah, boy, told you I had this.
Yeah, you
he
did.
shoots up. Told you I had this.
You did. You got it. You got it, man.
Boy,
Good
boy.
job.
So in the ensuing moments, right? It seems as though whatever expenditure that the Banshee's wail does not reset.
I would have assumed as much based on how the hags described it.
So
Alright.
it seems as though perhaps the situation is now resolved.
Time to start.
While they are looting, I am going to cast Identify on the figurehead.
Okay.
So I'm going to take 10 minutes to ritually cast Identify.
Okay, so while you all are... So I'm assuming the rest of you go about, like, crawling up into the crow's nest and looking around and seeing what's up there, grabbing stuff, going from that? Okay. So let's take a look at that. You find a whole bunch of stuff, including the satchel that you have already obtained. You find in a lidless wooden chest 5,000 copper pieces. And I will copy
We
possibly.
leave all of the copper for the hag. That's what she gets to keep.
That's what she gets to keep? Okay, you're leaving the copper?
Let's figure out what all
Let's not
that
jump
is.
to conclusions.
Let's not jump to conclusions. Oh, okay. All right. I was
don't know
gonna
if the
lock
one
it in.
get
Just
really
lock
gets
it
to
in.
Decide what does and does not get taken.
Okay. So you find 5,000 copper pieces, some new, but a lot of old stuff in here. In a lidless wooden chest. You find 2,500 silver pieces in a big tin urn. Hefty son bitch. You find a second burlap satchel. And upon investigation, you realize that these 2 hefty satchels are filled, each of them carrying 22 1-pound gold bullion.
Oh.
How much is a gold bullion worth?
100 gold.
Damn.
So the 2 satchels are worth, and that's approximate market value, right? Because they're trade goods. The 2 satchels are worth approximately 2,200 gold. You find a set of weaver's tools, pretty finely made. An ebony walking cane with an octopus-shaped handle made of pewter.
That sounds
and-
magic as fuck.
And a cracked spyglass. You also find a crystal bottle with smoke leaking out of the side of this ornately gilded platinum stopper of a mouth.
That also seems magical.
Yeah, that's probably a whatever.
So
flower
there's
bottle.
2 burlap sacks, each with 22 gold bullion, or 11 apiece.
I will copy pasta you boyos.
Copy posta.
Copy posta. Oh oh. Copy posta. Oh no.
All right. We got put it in chat too. Chat can see.
22
Good job.
each.
Yeah, there are 22 in each of them.
Interesting.
All right, Ezra. Which one of these things is magic? Aren't you still detecting?
I'm busy.
Okay, so at the end,
Calculating.
this takes a little while for you guys to go
Again.
through, right? You're all like, you're searching through, grabbing stuff up, etc., etc. And at the end of it, Ezra finishes his identify. The figurehead has a layer of enchantment laid upon it. It is enchanted with the voice of a literal banshee. And the magic itself can be reset by using the name of the banshee in order to reset it. The name of which, because you identify the command word with the identify spell, the name of which is Laelia. And when it is triggered, it triggers on any creature other than the individual who gave the command, or any creatures that the commander designates, right? Any creature that comes within 10 feet of it. And it has a 30-foot range. It has a Banshee as well. It's a 30-foot range. It cannot perform the wail in sunlight, and it has no effect on constructs or the undead. Constructs or the undead will still trigger it, but it won't harm them in any way, shape, form, fashion. Causes a DC 13 Constitution saving throw. On a failure, the creature drops to 0 hit points. On a success, the creature takes 3d6 psychic damage.
Oh, that's nothing.
No, it's the 0 hit points. That's the kicker.
Yeah.
The 3d6 is just a consolation prize.
It's less
Right.
than ideal. I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you.
After they finish their looting process, relay the
While everyone is still huddled around the mast, Ezra steeples his hands and he says, Laelia. And the Banshee wails.
he was evil all along.
That'd be pretty
Oh.
good.
Now, the betrayal.
Yeah, I wish there would have been more clues, but still be pretty good.
You know.
The problem was it wasn't a creature.
He says, Laelia, right as his
Unfortunately,
sprite sets the
yeah,
troll
Ezra is
skeleton
able to
on
put
fire.
2 and 2 together afterwards, right? The issue being that the unseen servant is not a creature. It is just a magical force. Even though it has AC and potential hit points and things like that, it is a figment of magic and not a creature of magic.
You're a figment of magic.
Nice try, but no dice. Cool. Yeah.
So
I had to actually look that one up too, because I was like, and then I looked it up, and they were like, nah, it's not a creature.
I spent all this time learning these ritual spells. I'm gonna damn well try them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a great idea.
All right, so what are we leaving behind for the hags?
Weaver's tools, obviously, seems kind of like what their trade is.
Gotta go back to weaving, sisters. Weaving. An honest, good life. Yeah, weaving.
Big agree. Okay, so Weaver's tools definitely should stay.
Okay.
Okay.
2,200 gold pieces. Now we need those.
Okay.
Technically 4,400 because there's 2 packs.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, is
Is
it
it-
2
is that
satchels filled with 22
Oh.
each? So it's 4.
Hold up.
Yeah.
I just adjusted that because I thought it was gonna be more confusing. So let me check. Because I
Nope,
might have
but-
just.
I'm confused.
It's locked in. We get 4,400.
Big agree.
No, my adjustment made it. So
Big oof.
I changed it was 44. I changed it to 22 each because I thought that would be more clear. And it is a total of 44 of them. But I was wrong when I told you guys earlier that the gold bullion is worth 100 gold. It's only worth 50 gold per. So the 2,200 is the total gold amount.
Got you.
Big oof.
Sorry,
Alright,
sorry.
so take all the gold, leave the silver and copper, and hope this one's nicer than the other one. I mean, it'll probably
Even
be here
the
if we have to kill
silver.
it.
Ooh, goodness. Okay.
I would normally take it, but I don't know. Maybe it buys us goodwill.
250 gold buys us goodwill.
It's only 250 gold. That's really not that much.
I'm fine with losing it.
Plus the other 50 or the other
Fucking adventurers are like
50.
money assholes. You guys
I mean, I would like to take it,
do
but
not understand the economics of the world around you. You're just like 250 gold. That's not much. That's nothing.
That is
you know?
that is
like
somebody's retirement.
remind you what you pay. You pay your steward like 10 gold a week.
You're not wrong, but we are talking about a coven of hags.
Oh yeah, yes, sure,
They're
fine.
different. They're a
And we're
different
also
class.
talking about what we're going to have to carry back.
Well, yes, that I understand completely. That makes perfect sense.
2 bags of holding, so
And a Heward's handy haversack.
and Ashes is back.
because it has no weight carrying capacity.
I know.
And Ash is back. Yep. He's
Oh,
our
go to hell and die.
I'm gonna die.
Delvin
Oh
says,
no.
I can
Do-
carry something. Here, I'll help.
Give him the magical stat.
do,
They'll immediately.
do we want me to cast another detect magic to see what items are magical or not? Just to see
Wouldn't hurt to.
anything.
I don't care. Sure.
We'll have to carry if it's not magical.
I will pull my book back out and begin to ritually cast detect magic again.
Gotcha. Time passes. You detect magic. It is only the crystal bottle that is magical. The pimp cane is just a really cool octopus-handled pimp cane.
It
Here,
stays.
buddy. Carry this cane.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Oh, this is awesome! Can I keep it?
Yeah, knock yourself out.
Cool. And he runs around, and it's less than 3 minutes before he is hitting things with the cane.
I mean,
As
all
long
right.
as the sitting isn't alive.
He's gonna go beat Blurk's ass.
Lie to me! Lie to me! Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Then Ezra picks up the bottle and starts casting Identify on it ritually.
Jesus. Okay.
Fucking ritually.
This
I guess we're just sitting here for 3 hours.
this
Bones,
literally turned into like an
short
hour.
rest and maybe use some hit dice?
I don't really want to use any hit dice. I just want to play with fate, if I'm honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought
So
you already did a pretty good job of that, already.
another 10 minutes
Hey.
pass.
Mhm.
Fix the situation, all right?
And Ezra, you identify the crystal bottle as a wondrous item of uncommon major tier. It is an ever-smoking bottle. Smoke leaks from the lead-stoppered mouth of this brass bottle, which weighs 1 pound. When you use an action to remove the stopper, a cloud of thick smoke pours out in a 60-foot radius from the bottle. The cloud's area is heavily obscured. Each minute the bottle remains open, and within the cloud, the radius increases by 10 feet until it reaches its maximum radius of 120 feet.
Good.
The cloud
Lord.
persists as long as the bottle is open. Closing the bottle requires you to speak its command word as an action. Once the bottle is closed, the cloud disperses after 10 minutes. A moderate wind, 11 to 20 miles per hour, can also disperse the smoke after 1 minute, and a strong wind, 21 or more miles per hour, can do so after 1 round.
Interesting.
All right, then.
Can you imagine just opening it without knowing the command word to close it?
I'm sure
Is the
there.
command word, oh fuck, please no?
Please stop. Please
Make
stop.
it
Please
stop. Make it stop.
There is no set command word. The command word is currently open.
That's
Okay. All right. I explain what the bottle is, that all of the other items are not magical, and
I'm sure we can find
are
something
we leaving
useful.
that 300 gold piece worth of coin for the hegs?
What?
I think that is a reasonable. I think that is a very fair thing to leave behind. Amount.
The copper and silver. Are you good with that, Stang Zach?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yes, I do.
I'm fine with it.
That seems fine.
You do so.
You guys leave behind the copper, the silver, the weaver's tools.
And that's it.
Did we find out the spyglass was anything?
It was nothing. Mundane.
It's just worth
Yeah,
money.
worth
Yeah, it's just a
250
cracked
gold.
spyglass. A spyglass is worth money. And that's not a spoiler or anything like that. You guys you live in this world, in this realm. You can identify something as a spyglass as being like, those things are not
Usually
necessarily rare, but they are, a lot goes into making them. They're valuable. I think a brand new one costs like 1,000 gold or something like that.
Wow!
I
That's
mean,
for
How much
fancy
money would it
people.
cost to repair it?
I don't know if
If
I'm
it's anything less than
right
I
on
mean,
that, but I think so.
I do have mending.
Oh shit! Cause mending on those son of a bitch.
Yeah, a spyglass
No,
costs
mend it,
1,000
though.
gold.
I
They're
will have a project to mend that so we can quadruple its value.
So how
potentially.
many like lenses are in it?
Set 7?
Is it
God damn it.
like 7?
the functionality of the spyglass magnifies to double size, I believe, is all it is.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Not super.
All right.
So we are leaving
I'm gonna leave.
300 gold and a set of weaver's tools. The rest we are taking with us.
All right, so who you guys just tossing the bullion into somebody's bag of holding or whatever?
Yep. The kids got the cane. I would hand the bottle over to Matashtai, explaining what
Ninja
that
vanish.
is. And then I would hold on to the cracked spyglass unless someone...
Ninja vanish.
What are they? They're 44 gold bullions.
Yeah,
Yes,
44
so
1
44
pound
pounds.
gold bullion.
Gold, I'm putting it in. Gold bull
And what did you give me?
Yawn.
The smoke thing?
One.
Yes, Matt has the smoke thing.
Smoke fire.
Okay, I've added it.
Which is 1 pound, by the way. Okay, cool.
Spyglass.
So I'm gonna, assuming that you guys are done with everything, I'm gonna put us to a point where I think is a fun, good stopping point. So you guys make your way back out, right? Lurk is there still waiting for you. The catatonic individual is still there. You guys want to do anything about that?
Screw it.
So
I'll
what-
grab.
what was-
I'll grab the catatonic person, grab him by the arms, pull him up there, and secure with my prehensile tail. And
Okay.
start-
As we're walking
Nah.
out, I'm like, hey, look, what you got going on after this?
Well, I was just, I was just really thinking about, not dying, not being eaten and devoured by hags. Hadn't really
Sure,
thought
that's
about
fair.
that.
So what are you good at?
Oh, well, I like fishing.
Okay, fishing.
Yeah.
You good at fighting or sneaking or?
Oh, I mean, I sneak. I'm a nice goblin. I don't do any of that stuff.
Are you a nice goblin?
Yeah.
I look at him like
Delvin goes, "You're not a nice goblin."
You
Kinda
wouldn't
like,
be
He kind of
affiliated with the old
with the cane.
Xanathars, would you? And I look at him for a reaction.
What's a Xanathar?
Ah, okay then.
Did that seem
All right,
sarcastic?
no.
Is that a legitimate
then.
question?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a legitimate question.
I was told from Jake.
No, sorry.
He is not a good liar. At least not
Okay, well,
to
I don't need
people
no
who can see.
Xanathar boys in my group.
Okay.
I tell that to him too. I'm like, all right then. I don't need any Xanathar boys.
That's good, especially since I'm not a Xanathar boy.
Sure, you're not. All right, cool. So, where are we heading, guys?
That aside,
Going
as you guys
topside?
you make your way down, right? You come back into the cauldron room, and you see now that Olive Stillwater is there, and she's flanked
Oh lord.
by a host of troglodytes. And they're all kind of like, they're all slunk down, kind of like half kneeling, half just like hunching their bodies over, like lowering their posture compared to her. And Olive says, "Ah, you're back. Good. Now die." No. She says, she says,
What a twist!
"What a twist." She says, "It took you a while. I was starting to get worried for your safety. Everything go fine?"
I look back at Bones. Yeah. Everything went according to plan.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I found in your absence that my sisters have, acquired some new help. I was just making sure that the help understood who was in charge around here now. I don't think we'll be having a problem. Will we, sister? And Coral's, you can see now, Coral is in much the same position that she was previously, right? Except her arms and her cheeks are flayed to ribbons.
Oh.
As are
Hey, do you
the
want that head?
unconscious gurgle brines.
It's rough.
The head
Yeah, hey, do you want that?
You are a purveyor of fine wares, I see. Yes, I do want the head. A trophy to remind myself of this grand occasion. The body, though, if you wish it, is yours.
Oh, do I wish it? I don't like to deal in humanoids.
But you wanted the head.
I wanted the head to give to my boys.
The skull
They like
takers.
skulls.
They're takers of skulls.
I'm the head taker of the skull takers, okay?
She considered it, but she wants a trophy. She wants something to remember this by.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I get that.
We've
That
made
sound awfully magical.
this. I believe we've made some poor decisions. I believe this is.
No. If I cross that line, I probably can't come back.
Olive says, "It has been a pleasure dealing with. Consider me an ally in your future endeavor."
Cool. Sounds good. Hey, Olive, I got some boys. They live right across the river in the old temple.
Ah,
Just so you know.
the Doomathorn.
The
And your boys are...
The skull takers. They're a group. They take skulls. They deal mostly in skulls.
Do they have a defining marcation?
Yeah, they got cat faces, probably. I don't know. I think I told them to, but they're all goblins and bugbears.
Ah. I will keep
They'll
that
identify themselves. They
in
have
mind.
bones on them all the time.
We will make
Don't worry about it.
We'll make our territory known to them and establish friendly relation.
Appreciated.
Olive says, "Well, I'm sure you have much to attend to." And she kind of looks at you, and she kind of like nods. To Ashes is literally carrying a person, and she says, "Good luck. Be safe on your travels. I would say don't be strangers, but honestly, it might be best if you are strangers for just a little while. Give us some
Understood.
time to fix things up and mend old wounds. Then
And
come
new
visit
ones.
us again."
Yeah, that's fair.
She says, "Goodbye." And she kind of like moves forward, and she kind of like climbs up into the cauldron, and she grabs Gurgle by the back of the head and just yanks her unconscious form down into the cauldron, and the body just topples down. You see the crabs up over and into the cauldron.
They're toilet
And-
flushing.
Olive looks at Coral and she says, "Sister." And Coral nods and she just like slowly sinks down into the cauldron. And as she does, she kind of like looks out at all of you. And you don't see hatred, right? You don't see anger. You see terror in her eyes.
Help!
Just resigned, abject fear.
Yeah, they did seem so happy before, just kind of fucking around, eating children.
Just fucking around, eating children, right? That's the diet for a happy
You know
hag.
how you do.
You know? And then Olive
leader for Halaster.
nods, right? And she just says, "Till next time." And she
All right,
slinks
see you
down
later.
into the water. And
Are we supposed to just keep the Coven Eye thing?
oh shit, no. She would have asked for that. I'm sorry.
I kind of didn't
apologize.
think we were supposed to just keep it.
Yeah,
but...
no, that was an oversight on my part. I'm assuming you guys don't like give any guff about that.
I'm not fucking with something that's gonna explode your eyeballs. So like,
Well,
Okay.
I
I don't even want to do-
identified it, and it didn't do that.
It
So
doesn't explode your
do not
eyeballs.
care. Do not care. I saw it explode eyeballs. That's what it does.
So Olive definitely would have asked for it. Do you guys just hand it over without issue?
I would have handed it over if there wasn't protestation from the
Doesn't sound like anyone's protesting currently.
I don't care.
So we'll say that
I
that
think it's- I
exchange
think this is
happened
a-
during.
terrible idea, but again, I'm not about the.
Well, I
So-
don't know. Maybe if she's not working for Halaster and they were, I mean, seems like a
The
win
coven
for us.
slinks away.
That does seem nice. Like she called her sister out on being in the pocket of Halaster, right? Which implies that she's not. So
The coven disappears. The troglodytes slink away. And I think as you all are kind of like leaving, making your way out of the Sargoth coven, I think that is where we will go ahead and close out our session for tonight. We will reconvene next week and figure out where the fuck you guys are going from here.
Sounds good.
Well, we gotta drop a kid off.
Yeah, I guess you're going back
Yeah,
to
we drop the kid
Skullport
off.
to drop a kid off.
yeah, I guess so.
And then after that, who knows?
Yep, to Skullport.
All right. We will see you all next time. Hope everyone enjoyed. Bye, everybody.
Night.
Goodbye.